Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am Jake. This is Press to Play Rewind for the world of gaming this week. I am joined again by Forrest. Forrest, thank you again for being here. It's always fun to have you on. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited to be able to talk about some video games with you this week.
Heck yeah, it's always a good time, and we've got some interesting things to talk about. Let's just put it that way. We got some mixed feelings going on in my head this week. So, let's start out with something really fun. You know, we've talked about the Avengers game before, back when they had that last trailer. You know, we all kind of liked it. We think it looks pretty cool overall, but one of the things that came up was, maybe we don't like the character design, maybe we do, but overall, we're all kind of excited or at least curious about this game. Well, this week, we got a brand new trailer for Avengers, and it heavily featured Hawkeye, revealing that he is one of the post-launch characters coming to the game. So, first of all, let's talk about the trailer. It was very short, but I thought it was super badass. Just the cuts to black and cuts to arrows flying through enemies, and then cuts to black, and then cuts of him jumping by and an arrow flying through a robot's head. There's no other way to describe it other than badass, right? Him
100%.
Walking out with all of the shot down enemies in the foreground with all the arrows and stuff. I loved the trailer. I think unlike a lot of the other characters, his design just looks really good. I don't have any sort of doubts about his design, so that's really cool to see. And it was cool to see him kind of go through the comics that they all read, and they looked at all these different comics and different iterations of them, and which ones they're kind of pulling inspiration from for their take on the character. I thought overall it was a really cool trailer. I'm really excited to see Hawkeye coming because I like Hawkeye as a character. Forrest, you had a chance to watch this Hawkeye reveal trailer. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's great. Super cool way to show off his skill set. The more I see about this game, the more and more I'm like, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get it. First, I was like, I don't know, it looks okay. It looks, I don't know, it's like a Final Fantasy type game. But the more I see, the more I'm loving it. The combat looks great, and now we get a whole Hawkeye like side campaign thing.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's a great character, and I love that they're pulling inspiration from the comics for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think what put us off with a lot of the initial trailers of it is you look at it and go, well, that's not the MCU characters.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I don't want it. But
yeah.
Hawkeye is so there's been so many different iterations of him, or ways he's looked, especially as the old man Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I know that, of course, they're not, he's not going to be an old man in this, but I am thinking I'm going to have to get this game after all, mostly just because maybe not mostly, but a good portion of it is that they're getting post-launch content. It starts off with Hawkeye.
Yeah, and I mean that is a big thing. And like you said, I had forgot to mention it. They said that they're giving him his own little side campaign, side story thing that can be played in cooperative mode too. So that is super cool. If we're gonna get more characters and it's not just like, hey, you can play as this guy now, and they actually put a little bit of story into it, I think that's really cool. So, and we know, they already said Hank Pym is going to come at some point.
Yep.
So I think Hawkeye is he's going to be a cool character to play with the bow and arrow and stuff. And I like how they're choosing characters, it seems like, that all play just completely differently. Obviously, the main Avengers are there, and they all play differently and stuff. But, for the post-game stuff, they could have picked characters that felt a little bit more similar and changed up some stuff. But they're doing Hank Pym, which is going to be completely different than anything we have. And then we've got Hawkeye, who's going to be completely different than anything we have. So I'm excited to see how many other characters they bring to this game and who they end up picking with that sort of make it different mentality in mind. I think it looks great.
That's a great point. Yeah, I'm thinking about what they could add to it that plays different, who's also, tied into the Avengers. My first next guess would be Spider-Man. You know how much I love. I know you love Spider-Man. Just everything about him. Every time I have a game that involves superheroes, Spider-Man's my go-to. I love how he plays.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be cool.
We're massive Spider-Man fans. We've talked about that multiple times here.
Yeah.
I thought about that earlier because that was my exact same train of thought. I'm like, okay, who is very unique? Spider-Man, obviously. I wonder if they'll do it though, because, well, no. I was thinking, I wonder if they'll just want to focus on Sony's side and keep Spider-Man on the PlayStation stuff. But I don't know that they own all of the game rights to Spider-Man, and I think they could probably put him in.
I think they could probably pull it off, whatever legal mumbo jumbo they have to go through. But yeah, it's that Spider-Man game itself plays one way. It's like an action adventure kind of thing. This one's kind of a team-based, different feeling game that I feel like if they've got everybody else, they can throw Spider-Man in there eventually.
I would lose it, and if I don't buy it by that time, there's a good chance a Spider-Man reveal trailer would be like, all right, here's my money, fine.
Yeah, fine, I'm going to get it right now.
God damn it, fine. So, I don't know. I love this Hawkeye trailer. Have you guys had a chance to check out the trailer? What did you think about it? Are you excited for him to come to the game? Who do you think, what other characters do you think might come? Is Spider-Man going to show up? Let us know your thoughts about all that in the comments below. Now, we're going to shift gears to an entirely other trailer that came out of nowhere as well this week. And that is the Battletoads trailer. Now, I'd like to start out by saying that I'm not like a massive Battletoads fan. I didn't grow up playing the game or anything like that, but I've always been very aware of them, and I've played it later in my life, and it's a cool game. It's a fun, cool game. I like the characters and everything. And I really like seeing these old beat-em-up series come back. Like, those were such a staple of that era. And to see them kind of coming back, I think it's really cool. We just got Streets of Rage 4 with an updated art style and a ton of characters. And I've got to say, I did not like this trailer at all. It just didn't work for me. And maybe it's because, like, the Streets of Rage 4 nailed the Streets of Rage aesthetic and feel, and it just felt super cool to me. But this trailer, I love that we have Battletoads back. I just don't really jive with the art style very much, and I couldn't handle the voice acting. Like, it just felt very modern day goofy Cartoon Network for me. It didn't work. So I mean, like, my wife and I were just talking a day or two before this trailer dropped and talking about Rash specifically being super cool and badass, and he's just like this tough, cool dude. And in this one, he just felt kind of like a goofy weirdo who's just trying really hard to make everyone think he was cool. And it just didn't jive with me. The gameplay looks fun with changing things up from, like, the walk around, beat 'em up, and the different game genres. Like, they've got like a Galaga looking scene and
like
stuff.
Sukaido.
Yeah, like,
crazy
the game itself. Yeah, the game itself looks fun, but I just didn't like the trailer overall. It just unfortunately didn't work for me. Forrest, one, I don't even know if you are a Battletoads fan. So, first question is, are you a Battletoads fan? And what did you think about the trailer?
I call GameStop every day and ask them if they have Battletoads. No, I'm kidding. I've never played it in my life. I have Rare Replay and I know it's on there. Still have never touched it. So I know very little about the series.
Yeah.
But you're actually taking a lot of my talking points.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. We can talk more about it. I was worried we were going to sit here and disagree like we do on a couple things. But I am completely with you that the art style looks like, I mean, first of all, it's Flash animation, which is the cheapest thing. And to reboot a series that's kind of weird to reboot, but get everybody hyped up and then hit us with that, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. That's so you don't really care about putting money into this. It looks cheap. It looks like they're gonna slap a Nickelodeon label on it and say, all right, well, the TV series is coming out a week after.
Seriously, it feels like a kids show.
Yeah,
and I'm well aware that Battletoads has always been a little bit goofy. Like, it always has been goofy, but there's just they took it in a different creative direction than I would have preferred. Like, it is just, they went so far into the goofy weirdness that unfortunately, I was interested, and I just have kind of lost interest after this trailer.
Yeah, I'm a fan of, like, beat 'em ups like that. Like, Castle Crashers was a game I sunk several hours into. It gave me a little bit of feel of that, but Castle Crashers came out in like 2008 at the height of like Flash animated games, so it felt true to the times, and it kind of started out that way, and so it made sense. But Battletoads was completely different than what it was. So yeah, like the gameplay looks okay, but just the art style puts me off. And I did a little research before the show we were talking about, to talk about it, and watching that trailer is just the Queen. What did they do to the Queen?
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know.
She started off as like, I get it's a kid's game, and maybe you can't have like super sexy characters anymore, but other series do it, and they just turned her into like, I don't know, it just looks like I saw a comment, somebody called her Purple Shigo from like Kim Possible, and I'm like, yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I don't know, and like I said, like the biggest like in your face what is happening for me was Rash, because
yeah,
growing up, even not playing Battletoads, I knew who Rash was. Like, he was the cool guy. He had the little shades, and he was tough, and he was badass. He's in Killer Instinct, and he just looks super cool. Like, he's cool. And then they made him the smallest one, and he's got these gigantic glasses, and he's just like, hey guys, look at me, we're tough, and I'm cool. Yeah. And it just
secretly a nerd, and I like to collect things, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I wanted to be excited about it, but I'm not. I should say we did get a release date for the game. that is a big thing that happened from this trailer. The game is coming on August 20th. So if you happened to really enjoy this trailer, it's all subjective. Maybe this is exactly what you were hoping for Battletoads. I hope it was, and I hope you love it, and I hope you're really excited. And it's coming in less than a month. So awesome. It's coming this month in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So go play it. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know. So have you all watched the Battletoads trailer? Are you excited about it? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Now, we're going to switch gears again, but we're staying on the Xbox train here.
Yes.
So, Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play. Now, last week, I was unfortunately very sick, so we did not get to talk about the Xbox Game Showcase like I want to, and namely, we didn't get to talk about Halo Infinite. So, first of all, I just wanted to say I thought the game looked great. It looks like Halo, but they've added some really cool features like the grappling hook and being able to throw stuff.
Love it.
Bigger maps, bigger regions, I think it looks great. Visually, I'm really excited for the game. But this week, the official Halo Twitter account out of nowhere just tweets, Halo is for everyone. We can confirm that Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and support 120 FPS on the Xbox Series X. So, 120 FPS, that's awesome. Great. Cool.
So good. Love it.
Not news I'm, shocked by. This is crazy to me. Halo multiplayer has always been a massive, massive thing. That to me is, I feel like that's why Halo got so big in the first place. People bought these games just to play the multiplayer. I guarantee you there's people out there who just play multiplayer and have never played the campaign, right? People love Halo multiplayer. It's always been kind of a thing. Back in the day, you'd go to your friend's house and you'd all hang around the Xbox and be like, no screen peeking, right? Yeah. Halo multiplayer is a staple of a lot of our lives, right? So to see them go free to play, I think is a very interesting move. I'm surprised by it, but I also kind of love the idea. I think they look at games like Fortnite, raking in the money hand over fist every single day, and say, why can't we do that? And I've been thinking for a while now, for a couple of years, that I really think Halo Infinite is going to have a Battle Royale mode, because that's the popular thing to do these days.
It's about time to kill that trend, though. Honestly,
yeah,
it's kind of dying off.
We're getting a lot. I still think Fortnite is king. They're top dog in that whole genre. But it is the trend right now. Every single game seems to be having it. Yeah, and this sort of just solidifies that concept for me. I think they want to be a serious contender when people think about Battle Royale, and they're talking about it and be like, okay, well, have you played Halo Infinite's Battle Royale? Because it's really cool, right? I think, they can sell skins, they could sell weapon wraps. I'm taking this all from Fortnite, but I think they could do it. They could sell different things.
Maybe games.
Yeah, they let you play as, an elite or a Spartan or whatever. I think there's a lot of potential there. Update it with new maps every once in a while. I think it could be really cool. Forrest, you being the resident Halo fan here, I want to pass it off to you. What did you think of its reveal last week? Let's talk about what you think about the game overall. And what do you think about the multiplayer shifting to free-to-play?
Yes. Let me start off by saying it was a complete nostalgia trip. The way they started it off, walking out of the downed Pelican, was reminiscent of your first crash landing on Halo. The first one when you hit the actual Halo. I thought they did well with mixing in what Halo started off as, along with adding some new stuff. Like the grappling hook looked great.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people had concerns about some of the visuals, saying it looks kind of old, but they've said that it's like an older build that they're working off of, like on a less powerful computer. So I have faith that it'll turn out well. I'm completely invested in it anyway. But to move on to, I guess, the multiplayer aspect of it, I'm wondering how they're going to do it. If they're going to, you have to buy the game to play the campaign, of course, but is the multiplayer just going to be free? Like anybody who has an Xbox Series X can jump on there, kind of like how Fortnite does it. Battle Royale's free, but if you want to play the campaign to save the world, you purchase that. I wonder if they're going to go that route, or since other recent news that they've gotten rid of the 12-month Xbox Live Gold, they only have 3 and 1 months currently available. They stopped selling them or stopped providing them probably a week or two ago. I'm wondering if they're going to just do what the PS3 did and just have multiplayer be free.
That'd be really cool. Free online.
But yeah, I would like that. Charge for Game Pass, because that's been shown to do really well. I love the Game Pass. It worries me though slightly with it being free. One is hackers, of course. If you have a free game, it's much easier for people to just download hacks. If you get banned, you just make a new account. I guess Battle Pass is going to be a thing because every game has them and they're getting kind of tiring. Even games like I was playing League of Legends the other night. That now has a Battle Pass, which is like, what? I mean, it makes sense. It's a free-to-play game, but all right. It would work well though. You get skins, you get new helmets and stuff. Because I think Halo 4, Halo 5, they had like pre-order bonuses. My brother got one from like Australia that gave him a really cool helmet. It was like a skull helmet. So it's definitely a thing that they've done, is visual customization. And so my guess is that they will go with a battle pass or microtransactions. I know it's the word nobody wants to hear. But if it's strictly visual, that's fine by me. As long as it doesn't give anybody any kind of advantage, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I don't mind a microtransaction necessarily if I know what I'm getting. I don't like when things are get this loot box and hope for the best. Here's $20 and here's some shit you've already got. Right? Like that's what pisses me off about microtransactions. And you're right. Like I've seen so many battle passes and all sorts of stuff, and I like the concept of a battle pass. It gives you a reason to keep coming back. It gives you a reason to keep playing, and you can look down the line and be like, oh, I'm going to get this cool stuff. But it's got to be done right. I'm a really big fan of Fortnite, and there has been some seasons where I'm like, I love the Battle Pass. I want to get all this stuff. There's some really cool stuff in here. And then there's somewhere I'm just like, I look all the way down the line, and I'm like, that's the end? So it's just, it's got to have some meat to it, and we played Dauntless for a little bit, and I got the Battle Pass there, and the Battle Pass there was really scarce. Like, there wasn't a lot of really cool stuff about it, and I just didn't think that one was done very well. So
I feel like that one's kind of on the back burner. I will give Fortnite props though for their Battle Pass. Like you can play the game normally and earn enough V-Bucks to then get the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
And every season after that, you'll have enough to get that Battle Pass, or you pay $10 and do it, which is fine. But making me buy a game and then making me buy a Battle Pass for more stuff, like Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare does, like I spent $60 on the game, and they have a Battle Pass too that you have to spend money on, and I refuse because it just gives you cool guns and new characters. But why should I have to pay more for that?
Yeah, you're giving me horrible flashbacks to Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh no.
That is the whole Battle Pass free DLC thing just gone horribly wrong. That is the epitome for me of worst experience I've had with that. Yeah. But we're way off track now.
Yeah.
I think overall, Halo Infinite, I'm really excited about the game. I think it looks great. I think the multiplayer being free to play is really cool. I think it probably won't even just be downloadable on Xbox. It'll be Xbox, Windows, maybe Steam. Because Battletoads is coming to Steam, I saw. So
yeah, I think a lot of Xbox games are going to be available on PC as well. So that's pretty cool. And I didn't know about the Xbox Live thing. I think you're right. I think that means they're probably just going to axe it. There's the DC streaming service, the DC Universe, with all the DC shows and stuff. Sure.
They've been having a lot of hints towards that service is going to get canned. And they also just stopped doing 12-month subscriptions. They won't let you get a 12-month subscription. I feel like that is a telltale sign of just, hey, this isn't going to be around next year at this time.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. If they move it all into Game Pass, or if they move it if they had free online, that would be like industry shaking huge.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, because one of the worst things, that's why I play computer so much, is that you already have your internet, but you're going on a console that you have to, I haven't touched my PS4 in a while because I don't have PS Plus, and I'm like, I don't want to shell out $50-$60 for a year to play online once or twice a month.
Yeah, exactly.
I just have so many games. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that, because Xbox did just change the name of the Xbox Game Pass today on Twitter. They're calling it just the Game Pass now, since it does span to PC as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know.
I digress though.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's what's so cool. Like, I knew this was going to be the biggest story because it can extract. It's so simple. Halo is free to play. Okay, awesome. But that could have so many ramifications in other aspects of the Xbox Series X and Halo overall. Like, I don't know.
What does it mean?
Crazy. One simple little tweet totally shook our whole conversation today, and I think that is super, super cool. Forrest, do you have any other final thoughts you want to get out about Halo before we wrap this up?
I'm still holding true to hoping it comes out on 11/7. 117. 120 frames a second. So hyped for that. I'm ready for holiday to play some Halo.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. You'll see me on there. I'm gonna be playing some Halo Infinite free to play. I'm gonna be taking you down, Forrest.
Let's do it.
And everybody else out there. No, I'm actually not that good at Halo. I love it.
Us versus everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. No, that would go horribly. Anyway,
a little bit.
What did you guys think about, this whole Halo Infinite having free-to-play multiplayer? Are you excited about Halo Infinite overall? Let us know your thoughts about all of this cool stuff in the comments below. And that is a wrap on this week's Press to Play Rewind for the world of gaming. Forrest, that was a super fun discussion. You brought some great ideas to the table. Thank you for being here again. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, love it as always, and I'm hyped to jump into more news whenever you want me on, which is every week. I know.
I text you every week because you're great. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up by hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be the first to know when we upload a new video. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Press to Play OK. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we will talk to you all later. Bye.